Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Fanatic, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, good whatever, wherever you are in the world. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. And before I get into today's two topics, I want to just explain what I'm doing here. I'm going unscripted. I'm liking the scripts and everything, but I feel like I could be more myself if I do it this way. And I think you guys would appreciate that a little bit more too. I'm not going to sit here and ramble off a screen of what's to say and everything. So who knows what I could say. I feel like this is a little bit more of me and that I could be myself, just like I said before, and that I don't have to feel like I have to be like every other Star Wars YouTube channel. Then just sit there and just monotonely talk like this and blah, 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 blah. I know you guys don't really want to see all that because everybody else does that, and I'm not going to do that now. I might go back to scripts at another time, but I want to try this a little bit and see what you guys think. So let me know in the comments what you think about the non-script and everything. And you are a Star Wars fanatic. And why are you here? Because it's freaking Star Wars, baby. And you love Star Wars, and I love Star Wars. So if you're here looking for Lord of the Rings, ain't going to happen. If you're looking for Harry Potter, nah, none of that. So let's get on with today's topic, shall we? You know what? I'm just going to sit back and relax for this one. The first topic I want to talk about is Wookiees. Wookiees. Since 1977, when Star Wars, aka A New Hope, came out, Chewbacca has been one of the icons of Star Wars. How many people you say, hey, look at this, and you show them Chewbacca, and they're like, that's Bigfoot. No, everybody knows what Chewbacca is. He's not Bigfoot. He's not Big Feet. And any Wookiee we've seen since then, we know they are Wookiees. They are not Big Feet. Not Big Feet. And so since Chewbacca has been such a big icon in the Star Wars universe, why haven't we seen more Wookiees? Sure, we've got novels about them and that kind of stuff. And then in Revenge of the Sith, there was a whole horde of Wookiees attacking droid ships. And that was cool. We were so happy to see that. And then there's Tarfful, who has about, 13 seconds of screen time. But besides Chewbacca and Krrsantan, there have really been no other major Wookiees in it. Yeah, in Solo, there were the Wookiee slaves in the Pike Syndicate. But no major roles for them. So I'd like to see more of that. Let's see more Wookiees because we need Wookiees. We need them Wookiees. Wookiees are cool. But to reiterate, I am not talking about the animated stuff. So I'm not talking about Gungi. Yes, Gungi was a cool Wookiee too. A little Wookiee Jedi, little man, little furry guy. Looked like he had some kind of lycanthrope syndrome. But I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about live action because a lot of casual fans watch live action. They don't watch the animated stuff. They don't read the novels. They don't know about the novel Aftermath Life Debt, where Chewbacca goes off to save Wookiees and the whole Wookiee planet of Kashyyyk. We're talking about live action. And Krrsantan, he was you can argue that the Book of Boba Fett was a horrible story and that, it made Boba Fett look weak and all that stuff and yada, yada, yada. You've heard all the complaints. But Krrsantan, not many people complain about him. Why? Because he was a badass. Freaking Krrsantan. Come on, that guy was awesome. Even in the comics, he was awesome. He took on Obi-Wan Kenobi, kind of lost, but he still took on Obi-Wan Kenobi. But in live action, he still did a great job. I mean, when that guy showed up, everybody was like, woo, Krrsantan, yeah, that guy. So let's see more Wookiees. Maybe we'll see it in Andor. Maybe we'll see a Wookiee in Ahsoka. Doubt it, because for some reason they've been really guarded when it comes to the Wookiees, and that's so disappointing because Wookiee was the first real alien character that we got in Star Wars. Why can't we have more of that? I don't know, maybe they're just having a hard time finding 7'3" actors that can play a Wookiee. Well, go to the NBA. There's plenty of them there. If you need a female Wookiee, go to the WNBA. There's plenty of tall people there. I'm sure you could teach them how to walk like a Wookiee do. Do like a Wookiee do. Walk like a Wookiee. No, sorry. I'm getting too goofy here, but that's kind of part of my personality, and that's why I wanted to do this unscripted, because I wanted to be me, to have my personality in it. But for the next topic, we're going to talk about Jedi Mind Tricks, and maybe we'll morph the two together at the end and talk about Wookiees and Jedi Mind Tricks. Who knows? You never know what I'm going to say. So Jedi Mind Trick. One thing, I was driving home yesterday and I was just thinking about Star Wars because I do that a lot and I'm kind of a nerd and really have no life other than my family, of course. So one thing I was thinking about was the Jedi Mind Trick. And I was like, okay, so we know the Jedi Mind Trick exists. We've seen it in A New Hope for the first time when Obi-Wan Kenobi said, "These aren't the droids you're looking for." Well, I can't do an Obi-Wan Kenobi impersonation very well, but that blew our minds. We're like, oh man, and the stormtrooper just repeated back, "These aren't the droids you're looking for. Move along, you know?" And we're like, wow, that was pretty cool. But then I started thinking, do people know when they're being Jedi mind tricked? Do they feel like their thought pattern has changed from when he was like, "When'd you get these droids? Just for the harvest, blah, 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 blah." But then his mind shift changed. "Oh, no, these aren't our droids. Go on, move along." Was there something in his head after that moment that he said, "Wait a minute, I know those are the droids we're looking for. They fit the description. I've got my little tablet here that shows what these droids look like." But maybe he didn't know what the droids look like because they were in an escape pod. But if you do a little bit of inventory on the Tanta V4, then you'll realize these two droids are missing. If they have an inventory, I don't know, maybe they wiped their database as they were being ported, who knows. But still, the Jedi Mind Trick, do people understand that the Jedi Mind Trick has changed their thought pattern? Now, I looked it up on Wikipedia just to see what it says, and it says that no, they don't understand that their mind has been changed or altered unless someone tells them, such as when Luke Skywalker chokes a couple Gamorrean guards with some dark force stuff, some dark side. Luke, your father in you there, buddy? Okay, but when he goes up and he mind tricks Bib Fortuna like it was nothing. I mean, did Luke get training in the Jedi mind trick? I don't remember that. But anyways, he's like, "You'll take me to see Jabba now." "I will take her to Jabba now," and that kind of thing. And he goes in and tells Jabba, and Jabba slaps him and says, "Look here, bitch, you've been Jedi mind tricked." And Bib Fortuna is like, "No, man." And so Wikipedia says that they don't know that they're being Jedi mind tricked unless someone tells them they have. Okay, seems plausible. Happened to Bib Fortuna, and he became big fat tuna for some reason. But anyways, so to me that just seems strange, because if I'm thinking one thing, like let's say I'm talking to you guys and I'm saying, I got my thought pattern going, which is jumbled up here, by the way. It's ADHD all over the place. Look, squirrel. But anyways, my thought pattern's going, okay, so let's talk about Jedi mind trick and Wookiees. And then for some reason, I'm like, I don't want to talk about Wookiees or Jedi mind trick. Okay, so something inside me should click and say, wait a minute, why did I change my mind? Because I'm a little analytical and I try to understand my own thought process and all that with these flighty thoughts that I have. But why don't other people do that? Because they're weak-minded. Jedi mind tricks only work on the weak-minded, and they don't question their thoughts and their actions and all that after they've been altered. And so that's my theory on it anyways. So now let's morph the two together, where we're going to talk about Wookiees and Jedi mind tricks. Do Jedi mind tricks work on Wookiees? Well, Wookiees are rather smart. If you haven't noticed, look at Chewbacca. He can pilot a ship, he can maintenance the ship, he can do all this stuff, and he's not weak-minded. And he often tells Han Solo, "Look, dude, you're messing up, man. Look, we shouldn't be doing this. These Raptors on this ship, that's probably pretty dangerous, and we probably shouldn't be hauling these things, but I owe you a life debt, so I'm going to go along with it just because I owe you." So Chewbacca, I don't think could be mind tricked, but I'd take it as a Wookiee would be an individual, just like humans. We have smart humans and we have some, okay, I'm not going to be politically incorrect, but we have some that could be Jedi mind tricked for sure. So maybe Wookiees are the same way. Maybe there's some weak-minded Wookiees, we could call it, and there's some strong-minded Wookiees. Wookiees like Chewbacca and Krrsantan are very strong-minded. Gunji's probably one of those as well, who I want to see in live action, by the way. I want to see some grown-up Gunji swinging a lightsaber, maybe burning his fur when he's swinging it. Maybe he's practiced enough where his fur doesn't hit the blade. I don't know. But maybe they are the same way. Maybe they're the same as humans. They probably are. I mean, I'm sure all species are like that too. And Greedo, he seemed like a pretty smart fellow. He found Han Solo, even though he died there shortly after. He seemed pretty smart. But then you look at the Rodian on Tatooine with Boba Fett in the Tusken camp, and the guy wasn't a genius. I mean, the guy wasn't going to invent the longer lasting light bulb by any means, and he was probably dumber than a box of hammers, and got killed pretty easily. Got his face smashed into the freaking sand. Anyways, so yeah, Jedi Mind Tricks probably work on some Wookiees, but not all, just like humans. And I know that's kind of anticlimactic in what I'm talking about here, but then let me know what you think in the comments. Do Wookiees need to be more in live action? Do we need to see more of them? I'm not talking like a whole horde of them as individual characters, every one of them like have their own lines for 15 minutes long or anything. I'm saying let's sprinkle one or two in here or there. Maybe Cassian Andor, before he gets K2SO, he's got a Wookiee sidekick that gets offed or something, and then we cry. Or maybe in Ahsoka, Gunji comes up and he's like, okay, I'm another survivor. But then again, at the end of the day, how many survivors of Order 66 do we really need? When Obi-Wan and Yoda were talking to Luke Skywalker, they're like, yeah, we're the dying breed. There aren't many of us. They've all been extinct. And I'm the last of the Jedi. When I die, you're the last of the Jedi. And there's this last Jedi, and there's a last Jedi over here. And there's a ton of last Jedis all over the place. How many do we need them? Or Jedi, sorry. Plural for Jedi is Jedi. I messed up on that one. That's my fault. Yep. Anyways, so how many surviving Jedi do we need? Well, we need Gunji. He's a fan favorite in the animated Star Wars community, so let's have some Gunji. Let's have some live action Gunji. Maybe he's, got that one snaggle too still, and it'd be kind of cool. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think. Do we need more Wookiees? And the Jedi Mind Trick, what do you think about that? Could you be Jedi Mind Tricked? I probably could. I'd probably enjoy it too, like, as long as they didn't make me chirp like a hamster or something, or run around the house in a chicken suit. Then I'd be cool with it, as long as it didn't hurt anybody. If it was just fun, little pranks, like sitting around the campfire, you and your buddies telling stories, and one guy goes, you're gonna surf on that burning door over there. I'm gonna go surf on the burning door. Yeah, no, nothing dangerous, just something fun, a little prank, like, hey, you're gonna go storm into somebody's bedroom while they're sleeping and start yelling, blah, 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 blah. That would be funny. I'd do that. Yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I do try to read all the comments, and I do try to respond to as many as I can, because sometimes I get bored. And also, how do you build a community if you don't engage with that community? Even if you're a little bit negative on topics that I talk about. And also let me know what you think about this unscripted style, if I should do more of it. And I have other things in the works that I'm working on. I have other things that I'm working on, like such as I'm going to have my wife on the show one day, and we're going to talk about Star Wars. She's more of a casual Star Wars fan. She indulges my obsession, but she's more casual. She likes it for the entertainment and the magic and all that stuff, like normal casual fans do. And I love her for it, because she's so accepting of everything I do. So I want to have her on the show, and she's going to ask me questions about Star Wars and what this means and what that means, and why I think as deeply as I do about Star Wars, because sometimes stories are just that. They're just stories, and they don't need to be deep as I try to make them out to be, but sometimes they do. And I'm going to explain that to her. Just don't tell her I'm saying this. All right? Okay. Thank you. Anyways, if you haven't done so yet and you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button as well. It really does help my channel. I'm trying to grow this channel beyond what it is now and beyond what I could imagine it being. I don't know, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Yeah, But why should you do it? Because, like I said before, it's freaking Star Wars, baby. And you love Star Wars, and I love Star Wars, and we're going to keep talking about Star Wars. I'm not going to quit talking about Star Wars, even if my channel doesn't grow. So you might as well just hit the subscribe button and help us out a little bit here. All right? Well, until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching. And remember, this is the way. And positivity in the Star Wars community really should be the only way. If I can stop this thing. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give the video a big stupid thumbs up. It really does help get my message across the Star Wars fandom. If you subscribe and like the video, it will give you a sense of happiness and euphoria, unlike anything you've experienced. It'll make your family love you more, and your water will turn to beer. Yeah, beer. And the type of beer you get is up to the will of the Force. If you get O'Doul suddenly shooting out of your shower, not my fault. If you don't subscribe and like, I'm sure your family will still like you just fine, and water will be good enough. But it's better to be safe and subscribe anyway.